Most of my friends don't talk with their parents about sex.
Sex is probably the hardest thing to talk to my parents about. It's just sin talking about it.
It's embarrassing.
It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I definitely got more information about sex from my friends, school, and the street.
I used to think you got pregnant by kissing.
If you do it too long, you'll be stuck.
Dancing leads to sex.
You lay next to some guy and you get pregnant.
You can die after your first time. As you get older, you realize, well, I guess that's not true.
S-E-X. Do those 3 letters make you uncomfortable, embarrassed, tongue-tied? Well, you're not alone. Teenagers and adults agree it's easier to have sex than to talk about it. I'm Lisa Gibbons. The truth is that over half of all teenagers have had sex before they're 18, and not talking about it isn't helping. In America, a teenager contracts a sexually transmitted disease every 10 seconds, and over 1 million teenage girls become pregnant each year. What you're about to see might make you uncomfortable, might even scare you. The truth is, it should.
My name is Nicole, and I am 14, and I am 9 months pregnant. And I was like, so freaked out, so scared. I didn't think that it would really happen to me, even knowing that, hello, you're not using protection, you're probably gonna end up pregnant.
Still there.
Just to know the fact that I'm gonna be a mom kind of scares me.
My name is Raul, and I'm 17 years old. The first time I didn't use a condom, nothing happened, so I thought that if I didn't use it again, it wouldn't happen again.
9 months ago, Nicole and Raul had sex without using any protection, and their lives changed forever.
I was scared when I found out.
To tell my mom that I was pregnant was very hard for me. She was so disappointed.
I'm still in high school, and it's hard to imagine that I'm going to be a father in a few weeks.
My name is Clemente, and I'm 17 years old.
Come on, do it.
My name is Diane, and I am 17 years old. Clemente and I have been going out for 3.5 months, and he's great.
I'm not the type that likes to use a condom.
I don't know myself why we don't use protection. We know the consequences, but when you're into it, you just think about pleasure, and that's it.
I think with my head, but I react with this. I don't want to get her pregnant. I got future plans. I want to go to college.
I want to be a special ed teacher.
Having a baby will just get in the way of things. But I'm thinking, nah, it won't happen to me. I know it won't.
As far as Diane and Clemente know, they aren't pregnant. But after they admitted to being less than safe when it comes to sex, we asked them if they would take a pregnancy test at a local clinic.
When's the last time you had unprotected sex?
Last night.
So you've had unprotected sex since you've had your last period?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if by chance your pregnancy test comes out positive, okay, you do have 3 options, okay, to either have a baby, to have an abortion, or you could go through adoption procedures.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to talk about that.
All right, Diana, here's a cup for you, and then the lab tech will test it, and we'll give you your results tomorrow.
Okay.
Because now I know I don't have as much going for me as I probably could have without a baby.
I was thinking maybe I would have dropped out of school so I could support the baby.
If you are making $5.75 an hour,
90% of teen parents live in poverty.
It's just gonna be so much harder. I didn't even realize this until right now. You know, I'm not even old enough to drive.
I was wondering if you guys were hiring right now.
Nicole and Raul are trying to beat the odds by finishing high school, finding jobs, and staying together.
Raul will always be a part of this child's life. He has said it to me many times, and he has shown it.
Okay.
The majority of teen moms are single parents. We arranged for Diane and Clemente to separate for the afternoon to see what their future might be like if they were to suddenly become teen parents.
Hi, I'm Melissa. Hi, I'm Diane. Come in. This is my son, Alex. He's 18 months right now. Hi, Alex.
Who's Clemente? met this little boy, Richard.
So, Richard? I'm 18, and I had my son when I was 16.
Back when I was 15, I became a daddy. 14, I found out. Just one day when the condom busted, man, I just had a feeling. The thoughts ran through my head of, leaving, splitting. We didn't talk about abortion. We didn't talk about adoption. Just, I guess we just accepted it that she was having a baby, and that was it.
Are you still with the baby's dad? No. No, we're not.
When my little boy was about 1.5 years, his mom left.
We were planning on getting married and everything. And he acted like he was going to be there forever.
And my friends would call up, hey, you want to go cruising? Say, hey, you got room for a car seat?
As soon as I get home from school, I go straight to work until about midnight. And I have to wake up at like 5:30 in the morning.
I get frustrated and I get upset. I was like, come on, I got to be at work, and you got to be at school by a certain time, and wash your hands.
Wish that I could just, leave it all and just be a teenager again and not have to worry about all this. But I know my mom's not the one that had this kid, so I have to take care of him.
Hopefully pray to God that she's not. If she is, your lifetime is going to totally change. This is my life. This is my 24/7. I can't take him back and say, you know what, I don't want him no more here. All cells are fine.
Seeing him there with his kid, that's no life. I mean, it's like boring, it's sad.
But, I have to talk to Clemente today. And we do have different opinions about it. That's why, we have to talk about it seriously. Is it positive or negative? What's going to happen if I am?
Deep breath in, chin to your chest, pull those legs back and push really hard. Push, 1, big breath. Push again, push again, push again. Deep breath in.
It's 1 p.m. Nicole has been in labor for 12 painful hours.
Do it again.
At only 14 years old, the risks for both mom and baby increase.
I'm worried about the baby, if it's going to come out okay or if it's going to be sick.
Okay. Nice.
Not all babies are born healthy. To better understand how the risks they take could impact an innocent life, Diane and Clemente visit Children's Hospital Los Angeles. They have no idea what they're about to see.
Sometimes some babies are not full term, they're not big healthy babies, some have problems, and there's a higher ratio of teens having premature babies, and there's always a possibility that the baby is not healthy. And if you're the parents, then you have to care for that baby.
First one is sitting in his infant swing over here. He has some abnormalities of his brain, and he also had some abnormalities of his airway, so he has a tracheostomy, and that's how he breathes. This other little baby over here was born as a preemie, so 10 weeks early, but was born with a number of abnormalities, including his abdomen wasn't closed, so he had a big defect, and where his skin should have been was his intestines, essentially. But his mom is a 16-year-old mother, so when she takes him home, the baby will need special equipment, essentially for the rest of his life. Our littlest baby here. This is a little 500-gram baby, which is 1 pound 2 ounces, born at 24 weeks, and I'd just like you to take a look at her name.
The reality is that this is someone's baby, and it could be yours.
I wouldn't want to be in this position, I mean, it's not my baby, and it hurts to see, it hurts me.
I can't even think right now. I'm just traumatized,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more. Come on, really hard, baby. Come on, go. Everything you got. 1. Here we go. There you go. You got a little. Oh my gosh. You okay?
Oh my gosh.
With tons of hair.
Grab your baby. Grab your hand. Put your hands out there. There you go. Hold on.
Well, I gotta see what it is.
You did it. Nicole, you did it. No, Emily's here.
The results of the pregnancy test are in.
Well, now that I've experienced all this, I hope it's negative.
It better be negative. I mean, if it's positive, they better take another one.
You seem a little bit anxious about wanting to know what your results are. So are you ready to hear them?
Mm-hmm. I don't want to know. Go tell her.
Okay. Well, I actually saved the little test itself. And do you see that blue line? That means negative. I appreciate your relief. However, because you did have recent unprotected sex, this pregnancy test may not have picked up a positive result. So you could conceivably still be pregnant. How do you feel?
It's between using a condom or just waiting, just keep
Yeah,
it
just waiting.
cool off for a little,
I would like to get on birth control.
We're still young, and we still have that chance where we don't have kids, and we could accomplish our dreams.
Her crying, her always wanting to eat, I can't really get a lot of things done around the house. My teen years were like this. I could have had my teen life still.
I only come here when I can. I'm still looking for a job.
It's very important for Raul to get a job and support the baby financially. She made our relationship change, just different feelings towards each other and a lot of hard times.
Now that the baby's here, there's more arguing between me and Nicole. Now it's about the baby and not about us no more.
3,000 teenage girls become pregnant every day. It's the end of the school year. These teens and their parents are getting ready for one of the most popular initiations into the world of dating and sex, the high school prom.
I love formals. It's going to be really fun, and we're going to do everything, pictures and dinner and the whole deal. It's definitely a big date night.
People definitely would like some action on prom night, because I mean that's a lot of money to throw down.
She likes it. All right, have fun.
I don't think that a majority by any means goes to the prom just to have sex for that night. I mean, it happens. You can't deny that it happens. Everybody knows it happens. It always has happened.
I haven't had sex yet, but definitely, I've experienced a lot. It just hasn't happened yet, and I don't want to shoot myself short the first time.
As they prepare for the prom, these 4 teenagers are letting us go behind the scenes to see what's really going on with teen relationships today, and to learn the truth about how in touch parents really are.
So you'll be careful, and are you going to tell me where you are tonight?
No.
Yes, I think you are.
Some parents are still just clueless. They just have no idea what their kid's doing.
I've been seeing Nick for a year and 2.5 months.
I'd say love is in this relationship, definitely.
I feel that serious relationships mean that you have to feel really committed to somebody.
It's purple. I asked a girl named Katie to go to junior prom with me. She fits the bill for somebody who I think I'd have a really good time with on a date.
It's not dating, really. It's more just hey, I like you. Let's go to the prom.
Oh yeah, this is my mom.
Hi, I'm Katie. Very nice to meet
Sex after the prom is kind of just the goal. I mean, some sort of sexual activity is kind of what's hoped for.
I mean, I don't think people really expect sex. They kind of expect something, though.
Guys think about sex so much more than girls, it's beyond belief. I guess that's just the way we are, because we have that testosterone and stuff, and they don't.
I think a lot of the girls are more into it than we'd expect. It always seems like that has to count, It's just what's wrong with leaving it how it was? It was great, I had a good time.
I'd like to ask girls why they don't like sex as much.
Do males and females really think differently when it comes to sex? After balancing romance and raging hormones at the prom, our teens and their friends get a chance to explore the truth about the opposite sex. Loveline's Dr. Drew Pinsky helps them get the answers to the questions everyone is usually afraid to ask.
What do you hear the guys say?
I know a lot of guys who like feel that they need to have sex because they think that all their friends are doing it like every day and that they need to like keep up.
It's way more of a guy thing, the whole like losing your virginity.
You can love somebody without having sex with them, but if you're going to have sex with somebody, it would be ideal if you love them.
For guys, it's like, if you don't have sex, you know, people rip on you, they call you a wussy and stuff, they make fun of you. If you do have sex, they're like, yeah, you know, you're the man.
So men and women see things very, very differently, and we don't do enough discussion about that. What do you want girls to know about guys?
That guys are horny, and most guys will take it any way that they can get it.
I know a lot of guys that are willing to wait and say, you know, the person they have sex with is someone they love and truly care about.
How would a young woman know if you guys are just looking for a prime situation or a relationship?
Well, they don't. It's kind of, I mean, that's how it is. You don't really know what the other person's thinking.
What would you want guys to know about girls?
Be careful with sex, just because it can be very like powerful over the girl's emotions, and sometimes there's more emotion behind it than they realize. Even if the girl doesn't say it, she's just like, oh yeah, you know, hey, cool.
I think you're right that both people should know, like, what kind of emotional toll they might put themselves through. And, you know, guys are also smart enough to say, you know, that maybe they'll sit down and think about it, and that, you know, maybe sex isn't what they want to do right now.
1/4 of all the people living with HIV were infected with the virus as teenagers. I think you need to know that sex is it's a risky deal. When you are a teenager, you're having a good time, you're being spontaneous. You don't necessarily think about the consequences. Every hour, 2 Americans under the age of 20 become infected with HIV. Be safe. It's not just sex, it's your life. And why would you want to risk that?
Hi, I'm Danny, I'm 18. Sex is the #1 topic in school.
My name is Lauren. I'm 16 years old. In high school, when people have oral sex, that's not considered having sex.
My name is Brandon. I'm 19 and I'm a gay male. I know a lot of people who aren't gay and straight that are not practicing safe sex.
My name is Janine, and I'm 17 years old. Yes, I've had sex before. My mother doesn't know. I guess maybe she will now, but...
If you would go and ask most kids, did you use protection while having oral sex, they'd laugh at you.
I wouldn't get a sexually transmitted disease. Why would it happen to me or the person that I'm with, you know? He wouldn't have something like that, or, oh, he's not dirty, you know?
I don't think that anything can happen to me. At some points, I don't think that I'll catch anything.
When you're in the moment, it's in the mood, you're not going to be like, okay, well, time out. Do you have a sexually transmitted disease? It never happens.
These New York teens are about to learn the ugly side of sex. Escorted by sex educator Dottie Rains, the four will tour a microbiology lab where hundreds of cases of sexually transmitted diseases are diagnosed each day.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to hand out these little cards. Just don't turn them over. And I just wanted to know if you can tell what kind of STD is on the card by just looking at it like that. Do you know?
Like this?
Yeah, just like that.
No.
This, I would say, would resemble a person. See, by looking at this card, you cannot tell if this person has an STD. But when you flip your cards over, then you can tell.
Oh. Okay.
You see? Yeah. What is the most effective way not to get an
abstinence?
Right. And I guess that sounds kind of corny, you know, when somebody's like abstain, it's like, what? I mean, how do you feel about abstinence?
Hardly ever happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any sexually active person can catch an STD. To learn more, the group is joined by infectious disease specialist, Dr. Mark Kaplan.
Here's some seminal fluid, okay? There's a cc of seminal fluid in here. This material can contain in it herpes, papillomavirus, chlamydia agent in it. It can spread the AIDS virus, and you are microbiologists are allowing this stuff inside of you without figuring out what's in there. You got to be nuts. Chlamydia, it's probably the most common sexually transmitted disease to teenagers. Let's take a scenario of a young man comes down with chlamydia. What does he get? He starts to notice when he's urinating, he has tremendous burning. The problem with a woman when she gets chlamydia, she doesn't really know she gets it until when she starts to decide to get pregnant and she finds that she's infertile. And this may be 8 or 10 years later. And it's a devastating thing, as you can imagine. You know, and it's 1 in every 10-point-something seconds that a kid is getting an STD, and that's most likely chlamydia. Another kid just got an STD. That's how frequently these agents are transmitted. The bacterial illnesses, syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia, can be treated with antibiotics and cured, but you hope that you get it before structural damage was done to your body. Viral diseases, herpes simplex, genital warts, hepatitis B, HIV, really cannot be cured. They're yours for a lifetime.
HIV, the virus that causes AIDS, has no cure and has killed almost 500,000 people in the United States alone. At the North Shore University Medical Center, Dottie introduces our teens to AIDS counselor Tanya McKinney. Here, they begin a day they'll never forget.
Most infection rates amongst adolescents, people in your age bracket, they're contracting it through unprotected sex, unprotected straight sex. This virus is grown amongst your population. Large numbers of teenagers are infected, large numbers. Because you can't see it. It's not something that just shows itself. And for many people, won't show itself for years. On the average, 10 to 12 years.
To better understand the reality of this deadly virus, Tanya asks Dottie and the teens to take an AIDS test. Although this is not a real test, no blood will be drawn. Everything else about the process will be as real as possible.
I want you to feel this process. I want you to really get your head set in a way in which you feel like you're actually going through the test.
I'm more scared of getting someone pregnant than I am of STDs or HIV.
Do you know that, the possibilities are kind of like side by side? Whenever there's unprotected sex, there's the possibility of both.
Yeah.
I want you to choose a bracelet. We don't really know what's what, but they all could possibly represent HIV positive status. As I'm placing this bracelet on your arm, I want you to pretend as though I actually drew your blood. And I want you to wear this bracelet for the rest of the day, because you're going to come back later and I'm going to tell you a result.
You just think, what if this was real, you actually, all the things that are going through your head about your past history and what you've done and what you could have exposed yourself to. It's kind of nerve-wracking.
It feels very real.
Yeah.
It's kind of really real.
I'm Lisa. I'm 33. I was diagnosed with full-blown AIDS at the age of 25. It was 1991, and it was unheard of that non-IV drug heterosexual women got HIV.
Lisa contracted HIV from a man she was engaged to when she was 21. But she didn't know she was sick until she was diagnosed with full-blown AIDS 3 years later.
I am not Arthur Ashe. I'm not Magic Johnson. I'm not some famous movie star. I'm not Rock Hudson. I'm like one of you. I'm just Lisa. I grew up in a little town. I just want to make this real for you. I don't want you to think that 40 pills a day is going to make it go away. I'm in prison, and I can't get out. There's no parole. In the last 7.5 years, I must have been on my deathbed 100 times. I've been 80 pounds, bald, for 3 years. I feel like an alien. I really do. Sometimes I think to myself, God, I hate being different. I want to be like you. I want to worry about my hairdo. I want to get upset over the parking ticket. I don't anymore. I've had to do things I never imagined I would, like face my own mortality. This will rob every dream that you ever had from you. And I am not lying to you. It'll take everything away. All of you are special. Do me a favor, and just if you could hold off, if you could make a pact with me. Sex is so incredible. But once you get this disease, it's wiped away completely away from you. If you could just hold off and make that pact, then I feel like my life on earth here has been served.
It's really sad knowing that, you know, all her dreams were ruined and she has to go through this and her family has to go through this.
She's only been with people that she's really loved.
I never knew it could be like that. I know the people who have AIDS and they look like regular normal people that, you know, that it's something that they can cover really well, but Lisa can't cover it.
It's now time to get the results of the fake tests, which now seem all too real.
Why? I feel nervous.
Me too. I can't stop shaking my hands.
My foot's going. I'm just like starting to fidget.
I'm starting to worry for other people that I know of that had unprotected sex.
Before I actually give the results, there is one thing I want to do. We really need to really quickly reiterate how you can and cannot get HIV, okay? You cannot get HIV from touching someone, hugging someone, kissing someone, sharing a soda, sharing some water, okay? However, there are some clear ways that you can get HIV.
Unprotected sex.
Absolutely, which includes oral, anal, and vaginal. Lauren, can you read me the number you have on your bracelet just to double check? It should be on there. Lauren, you tested negative.
She's starting to smile.
Okay.
003.
Okay. Brandon, you tested negative. Janine, your number, sweetheart.
001.
Tested negative. Dan, just read me the number, honey, just to be sure. Okay. Negative.
What about Dottie?
Well, Dottie, why don't you?
Well, my number is 005, and for me, this is not a game. I'm 23 and I'm living with the AIDS virus. I contracted this disease at age 16. When I first found out, it was just a routine checkup for me. I didn't know of anyone who was HIV positive that I slept with. They didn't look sick. I felt like this could not happen to me. But you have to realize this disease does not care. You can be black, white, poor, rich, have a job, be unemployed, it doesn't care. I just cannot stress to you. Sex should not be taken lightly, by no means. I don't care how he looks, how she looks. This disease can affect you. You know, guys, you gotta wake up. You got to. Assess your risk. Take charge of your life. And it's okay to say no. It's okay to abstain. Because you don't want this disease to affect the rest of your life.
That's just so shocking to think that, like, just having fun with your friends just like that, and you have no idea. I mean, she looks totally healthy.
I'm gonna really think twice before I have sex again.
It just makes me think like how stupid I was. Now I gotta think what I'm gonna do to prevent it.
Or simply abstain.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as we know, it could be too late.
75% of sexually active teenagers admit they have never been tested for HIV or other sexually transmitted diseases. HIV tests are confidential.
I don't think my parents take my emotions about like girls or anything very seriously, because I think they think that like maybe I'm too young, or we as general as teenagers are too young to experience stuff like love and stuff like that.
After learning how to talk to each other about sex, Dr. Drew asks the teens to do something they normally wouldn't do. He asks them to talk to their parents
What would you parents like to know about teens when it comes to their sexuality and their dating habits?
I always want to know if they're being careful.
So contraception, safe sex. What do you guys want your parents to know?
Their generation started the free love movement.
All right.
And the movement of all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, they should be able to deal with what has come from what they've done.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll isn't what it's all was made up to be also. You know, we went through it, we saw what happened, and there's been a lot of tragedy that came out of that.
Is there anything we can do to make this an easier topic to talk about?
Parents should tell their kids more about when, like, their own experiences when they were kids, so they
can relate.
Don't feel so, like, different.
But don't, like, judge and, like, tell them exactly what you feel, or they'll stop coming to you.
Anything you guys have learned?
Well, I learned that it's important not to be judgmental, and that it's important to continue to validate their feelings and let them know that we do understand what they're going through.
A lot of kids are going through all these changes emotionally, and when they don't have their parents to support them or understand, and it causes a lot of problems.
The truth about sex is that the United States has the highest rates of teen pregnancy and sexually transmitted diseases in the industrialized world. And every sexually active person runs the risk of becoming a statistic. The truth is that sex is a natural and healthy fact of life. But the choices you make now can change your life and the lives of those you care about forever. Sex can be difficult to talk about. But talking about life's tough issues won't hurt you. It's not talking about them that will. I'm Lisa Gibbons.